Hi everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I want to show you how you can use government data to get your trading pairs for trading idea generation and how to go about using it to add these kind of ideas to a watch list. So let's get started. I'm using government data on to generate these ideas to figure out where things are going over the next, let's say, month to 90 days. Not only that, you can automate all this and I'll show you the logic of what we're talking about. First, you're looking at a spreadsheet with US and the Eurozone. There's also China, but at this point I played around with some of the reports that I've seen and they're not really useful at this point. The only ones that are worth using is HSBC PMI, but there's not enough to work from to really figure out how to assess things. But I'm going to focus on US and the Eurozone, and I'm going to show you where we get it from. So I'm using Quandl, and this is the code that you use to download that particular data. Now it's all free, thankfully, I guess. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go from there. Okay, so Quandl has these codes that you can use to download data. Okay, there is a file or C# that I use that will download the data for you. This one's in C#, my Visual Studio. And I'm going to show you an example how to use one of these codes and what it looks like when you run it. I'll give you the link of where to go to download this program. Okay, so we're going to run it. So there's all the data that it grabs. Okay, obviously it's in an object that you can then manipulate and feed it into a spreadsheet, database, or whatever. But it's there. The source code is available for you to do that. Okay, so that's how you automate it. And again, going back to our spreadsheet, these are the codes that you use to grab all that data. So as I said, we're going to focus on the US. I'm going to use things like the ISM PMI for manufacturing, University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment, building permits and authorization. Between these three, this gives you an indication of where things are. It'll give you an indicator of how the market's looking in terms of is it bull, neutral, or going into bear, let's say. Between the US and Europe, you're looking at probably collectively with China, it's at least half of the world's GDP. So these are important indicators. And of course, using US and Euro, they're liquid markets, so you can trade in them. So if you're just focusing on like small countries, liquidity is going to be a problem. That's why we focus on the US and Europe. So as I said, we've got all these different government sources that we can use to get sentiment. And we don't stop there. We get the durable good shipments, new orders. Now this is the key right here, is the new orders, because that reflects if the market's going down, we can see that. If the markets are starting to come up off, let's say, a trough, we can see that too. So we can see monthly, I think it's monthly, on, let's say if you're in call it a depression or something, we can see green shoots using these reports. Continuing along, we also have to worry about the consumer, of course, for unemployment, industrial production index, and this unemployment, insured unemployment that we measure as well to measure the consumer. Okay, that's pretty powerful information that we can use. Not only that, we have the ability to just open up another browser here. Okay, so now we're going to move into China. Now remember, these are the Quandl codes that you use to download that information I showed you in this program, in the C# program. So here are the Quandl codes for Europe. Once upon a time, I think they used to have the economic, what was it called? The ESI, the Economic Sentiment Indicator, but they've changed it. It looks like as of this year and broke it down by region within the Eurozone, which is even better. Now, before I step away, I think I already mentioned this, China, the HSB PMI. That's all you can really work from. It's not a lot. Maybe in a couple of years, maybe someone else will come along to change that. But for now, I don't focus on China. Now, again, coming back to the ESI, we've broken down the Economic Sentiment Indicator via all the major members in the Eurozone. We've got the UK, Germany, I know France and Italy are all in there. And these are the codes that you use to get a measurement of those particular regions and how they feel on their region. Okay, or the country. It's basically it's an outlook. It's forward looking. Now this is where you can get all this information from. Okay, but there's also another really important area that you can use to help you break it all down. So in this economic and financial affairs, in this spread, in this page, you're going to want to download this little guy right here. All surveys, candidate countries. All right. And what's going to happen is, let me just see, government data. So when you download that zip file, this is what you get. You get multiple spreadsheets. So just for all you developers out there, I'm going to still have to figure a way to come to this page, web scrape, and then download this particular zip file. Where is it? The all state, just right, this guy right here, all surveys. Okay, so I'm going to have to build a little program that will download it and then extract it, and then from there pre-program to show you what I'm about to show you. Before I continue, let me just show you what we're going to be doing here. For what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out some trading pairs. So let's say we have our ESI, right? Our ESI is going to be broken down to consumer sectors and manufacturing sectors, retail, so on and so forth, okay? So what'll happen is, because we have the strong and the weakest indicators via the sentiment here of each country, we can further break down and analyze and get trading pairs for a long and a short view, which will result in a trading, basically a spread trade. So let's say we identify that Germany is one of the strongest players for that particular market, for that particular month, and our weakest is, I don't know, poor Greece, right? That's our weakest. So Germany is going to be our long, Greece is going to be our short, okay? In between here, we don't care about the mid-range players. It's what we call dead money. All we care, again, is the strong and the weak, right? The weakest and the strongest. So let's do the same thing with Germany for manufacturing. Do the same thing for Greece again. I don't know. Let's put on France's time and, I don't know, Austria, okay? So that's what we do to generate our long and our short, okay? I'm going to show you the surveys you can get from that package that you can download, okay? So, yeah, here, I think my system's having a conniption. Yeah. Hooray. Let me just, okay, here we go. So this is our services. One thing I gotta highlight here is you gotta make sure you're always downloading a survey or report that always is up to date. It is September 19th. We're gonna get the latest, which is gonna be obviously August, the previous month, and we get our data so that will show our regions, who's doing what, and we can identify who are strong and our weakest players are. Okay, which is obviously pretty important. From there, let's just see what other kind of reports we got. So we got services done monthly. We don't care about quarterly. Okay, going back to our package here, we have retail. So again, monthly by region. Okay, really important stuff here. We've got what else we got? We got industry. Just loading them up each would be really fast here. So we got our industry by monthly. Again, they're pretty well all up to date. There's the August 14. What else we got in here? Consumer, right? So on and so forth, right? Let me just go back to our little package. So we got services, retail, industry, and building totals as well. Okay. Let me just see what we got here. This is all monthly views. Hooray for that. Now the interesting thing is when you come under info, you can get some qualitative information as well. That may drop some hints as well. Okay, so again, coming back to this is how we generate this little, who's our strongest region, who's our weakest region. Okay, so from there, we now have identified a list of who our players are. Now I've dropped a little hint on where this is. So here are the entire list of files and tickers that you can retrieve from Yahoo Finance. So let's go back to Europe. So for Europe, I am only interested in Germany. Okay, for manufacturing. Well, let's see how that would work. So, you can tell, I don't know, we can break it right down to, I don't know, auto parts. Okay, so here are all the U.S. Sorry, did I say U.S.? Sorry. Let me change that. Let's say Germany. Hopefully there's some German auto parts. Yeah. So we got some auto part manufacturers. Let me just we don't want that. We just want auto parts. Okay. So out of that, we know that auto parts, all these players, some are going to be strong, some are going to be weak. Okay. So with this, we can grab through, I don't know, IQ Feed or whatever, get the market cap of the company, maybe their earnings per share. Using fundamental analysis as a way to gatekeep, that's their strongest player. We could also do the same thing with the process of, who did I say would be the weakest? Was it, it doesn't look like we have Greece. But I don't know, United Kingdom, let's say. So we have the weakest players for, I don't know, was it auto parts we were looking at? Let's see, I don't know. Let's say oil, it doesn't really matter, but you get the idea. So you got maybe a weak player in here out of this list that you can use as your weakest player. So you can get your short, your long, and you can do the same thing with US as well, right? Obviously, we can grab the US And let's say we know maybe there's an area, oil and gas. We know it's an area we should invest into and look at as a trading opportunity over the next 1 to 3 months. So here's all the players. And again, using our fundamentals, we can pick off our strongest, which would be whoever, and our weakest player. Short and long trading pair for spread trading for that. And there's so much we can do using these reports from the government here to break out who's doing well, who's doing weak. And again, we can identify that both from the U.S. and European sides. So it's pretty powerful information. And then once we know some trading pairs that we can use for a long and a short, we can add them to a watch list, and we can put them through a further screening process and have another process or set of processes that will use price action to determine on when to enter those trading pairs, to enter a position into those trading pairs. Okay, so I'm hopefully going to show some tutorials on that down the line. But if you're wanting to see all this and the links, I'll provide them in the links below or whatever, and as well as the source code. Now, in terms of source code, what we're looking for is Quandl.net. Okay, so Quandl. Now I'm showing you this, where to retrieve this source code, because this is basically what I just showed you earlier. This is where you can get it. So if you come under Quandl right here for the .NET, you'll get this reference to this GitHub, and boom, boom, boom. There's our source code. There's our project. It works. Obviously, you got to make sure you put your API token in there, and off you go. And it works. Okay? Just want to let you know how to do all this, to use government data, like here, ba-boom, and get long and short trading opportunities out of that, and then be able to figure it all out. Very exciting. Hopefully, I'll help you out. Talk to you later.